good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Ultimate Dirt TV's coverage of the Louisville Corporation and Dirty Old Bastards 360 winged sprint cars. We come back for race number 2, round number 5. We now get set for qualifying here for the second race. And we'll see what these drivers can do here for the second race. Although we don't have as many drivers here, we got I think 21, 22 drivers for this one here for race number 2. So keep an eye on your fastest qualifiers. You're watching Western Newell. He set quick time in race number 1. We'll see what he can do. Again, Todd Riley, the first guy, but no, there is Western Newell with an 18.337. Boy, that car is hooked up. It is flying. It's a rocket ship. Quick time, what can you do on lap number 2? It's an 18.4. You're watching Robert Kirsten, the winner of race number 1. David Holland jumps to position number 3 with an 18.466. Ryan Pace at 18.391. Kirstetter, we'll see what he can do. Chris Brenner with an 18.508. 5th quick. Cole Newhoffen with an 18.473. Kirstetter 8th quick with an 18.542. Jason Nygaard up to position 6 with an 18.520. Kirstetter in the LNS Express Wicked Cushion. Car number 27 gets his second lap in. It's an 18.509. Jason Nygaard with an 18.502. 5th quick. Michael Sheridan the 15. Might get 1 lap in as the checkered flag comes down on session, qualifying session. He will not get a time in. 23 cars in the pit area here. And just the 3 heat races. So well done to Western Newell once again taking out tonight's quick time here this evening. Let's take a look at our SETI Group Holdings starting grid for heat race number 1. Starting on the pole in the 222, it's Western Newell to his outside. In car number 8, it's Cole Newhoffen. Inside row number 2, the 27 of Robert Kirstetter lines up alongside the 057 of Craig Dunn. At a position number 5, it's the 92 of Mike Keegan. At a position 6, it's car number 6 of Todd Riley. At a position 7, the 33 of Brian Fine. At a position number 8, it's the 15 of Michael Sheridan. I think after this heat race, I will have to just go AFK for a couple of minutes. Got a package coming. Heat number 1. Newell, Newhoffen, Kirstetter, Dunn, Keegan, Riley, and Brian Fine. This package could be here any second. Ken Kirstetter, he picked up the win in race number 1 feature event. Newhoffen got 2nd. Batista not here in race number 2. Green flag is out and we're underway. Kirsten almost got eaten alive there by the Team City guys, Dunn and Keegan. Well, they race side by side, nearly 3 wide for a moment. Keep an eye on the 6 of Riley, but Newhaven challenging Western Newell for the race lead. And he will get the race lead in turns 3 and 4. We've got a couple of cars, Brian Fine and Mike Keegan at the back there. Western Newell to the inside. Newhaven leads down the back straightaway under the bridge into turn number 3 and 4. Newell trying to go through the middle again in turns 3 and 4. He can't make it happen. Cole Newhaven will lead lap number 2. We see the battle on for 3rd and 4th. Craig Dunn in 3rd. Kerstetter in 4th. Kerstetter to the inside off turn number 4. Dunn keeps the momentum up on the top side. Kerstetter taking evasive action not to get the inside wall. And he loses about 2 car lengths to the 0.57 of Craig Dunn. Newhaven, your race leader, looking to start on pole for tonight's main event for race number 2. 30 laps the distance. As I said earlier on, race number 1 was shortened due to time restraints, and well, time restraints again here. Although we've got a lot less drivers for race number 2, we're still going to have twin 30s here at the Grove. Halfway home, 5 down, 5 to go. In heat race number 1, you watch Colin Newhaven on the left of your screen, and the orange Triple S, Sims Speed Shop, Team VLR number 8. Team Friday's doing well, sponsoring all these teams. Kerstetter making the move on Dunn again into turns 1 and 2, but couldn't quite get past the 0.57 in corners 1 and 2 as he follows him through 3 and 4, all on the top side. Raleigh in the 6 back there in position number 5. Then we go back to Michael Sheridan, who has pretty much had no practice here, just the 10 minutes of practice, or the 15 minutes of practice in this one. Kerstetter has gotten by Craig Dunn. We have a look with the white flag out right now for your race leader, Cole Newhaven, into turns 1 and 2. Western Newell in 2nd will start position 4 in tonight's main event. If he can continue the job through turns 3 and 4, he will do. But Cole Newhaven in the 8 puts it on pole for the main event tonight. 3rd home was Robert Kerstetter, Craig Dunn. 4th, 5th was Todd Raleigh, Michael Sheridan, Mike Keegan and Brian Fine. Rounding out the 8-car field for heat race number 1. Let's take a look at our city group holdings, starting grid for heat number 2. Starting on the pole in car number 44, it's Ryan Pace. To his outside in car number 22, it's Jason Nygaard out of position 3, the 11 of Zach McLaughlin. Out of position 4, it's the 151 of Tyler Henselman. Strange numbers tonight from Tyler. In car number 26, John LaPresto lines up out of position number 5. Out of position 6, it's the 127 of Stephen Hill. 4 of Adam Buchanan will line up out of position 7, and Stephen Calavoda out of 8. We're probably going to miss the start of this heat race as the package is about 45 seconds being away from my door. We're going to leave this up on screen, so we do apologise for missing the first couple of laps of this heat race. But 10 laps on the board. Keep an eye on Ryan Pace in the 44. He starts on pole, and the 22, after recovering from that nasty crash in feature race number 1. His crew and team able to salvage what was left of that race car and come back out. Jason Nygaard starts out of position 2. Here we go. Green flag is out. We're underway. Heat race number 2.
Green.
Alright, Pace the race leader. Sorry about that. Pace wins heat number 2. Nygaard in second, third McLaughlin, Lepresto, Buchanan. In fact, Lepresto, Hill, Buchanan, Henselman and Calavoda. Heat number 3. Up next, let's take a look at our Citigroup Holdings starting grid. And starting on the pole, this one in car number 17, it's David Heilemann. At a position number 2, it's the 70 of Chris Brenner. At a position number 3, the 93 of Chris Roberts. The 51 of Jeremy Zarfos lines up out of position number 4. And at position 5, it's the 5 of Brandon Steele. Alongside him is the 77, Aaron Schaefer. And Jamie Wallace in the 00 makes up this 7-car field. Heat 2, another 10 laps on the board. Pace truck in, Heilemann, Brenner, Roberts, Zarfos, Steele, Schaefer, and Wallace.
Green.
Green is out, and we're underway for the final heat race of the night. Heilemann leads down the back straight away. Brenner fights to the inside into turns 3 and 4. Roberts nowhere to go, but watch these guys two battle it out for the race lead. And they're both through the middle of the racetrack. Brenner down low into turns 3 and 4, trying to make something work downstairs right now. Side by side for the race lead, but well, Heilemann, he has the momentum on the top side of the racetrack, and now Brenner goes to the bottom. Both these drivers turning some fast lap times, 17 zeros. For both of them right now, 17-1 for Chris Roberts, so not far off the pace. Heilemann continuing to lead the final heat race of the night. And here comes Zarfos in the 51. In position number 4, now trying to race into that 3rd spot. Brenner once again back to the inside, putting this almost a slide job on David Heilemann. Hello, Robbie. There was almost contact between your top 2, Brenner and Heilemann, in turns 3 and 4. Heilemann goes down low. He leaves the bottom open for Chris Brenner. Once again, it's a drag race off for turn number 4. Brenner's a lot closer this time now. He throws a slider into 1 and 2. Heilemann, perfectly executed crossover maneuver. Brenner once again downstairs in turns 3 and 4. Side by side, as they've done for a couple of times throughout this heat race. And they race continuously side by side for the race lead. Heilemann, well, he's not getting off that top side of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. He carries a lot of speed on the exits. 7 down and 3 remain. Two laps to go for your race leader, David Heilemann. Oh, Brenner a little out of shape. And that's going to lose a ton of ground. Pretty much all but gives the win to David Heilemann in heat race number 3. Brenner going to start out of position 6 for tonight's main event. And for the final time in heat racing competition, David Heilemann downstairs. He will get the job done. And he will start P3. David Heilemann with the win. Chris Brenner home in 2nd. 3rd is going to be Chris Roberts, Jeremy Zarfos, Brandon Steele, Aaron Schaefer, and Jamie Wallace rounds out our field. Now it is time for the main event. 30 laps of distance. Once again, let's take a look at our City Group Holdings starting grid.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Starting on the pole in Canterbury, it's Cole Newhoffen, who is outside the 44 of Ryan Pace. At a position 3, the 17 of David Heilemann starts at a position 4, the 22 of Western Newell. At a position 5, the 22 of Jason Nygaard, alongside him the 70 of Chris Brenner. The 27 of Robert Kirstead at a position 7, at a position 8, the 11 of Zach McLaughlin. At a position 9, the 93 of Chris Roberts, alongside him Craig Dunley at a position 10. At a position 11, it's John Lepresto in car 26. At a position 12, the 51 of Jeremy Zaffa. Todd Riley out of position 13. Stephen Hill out of 14. 15 is Brandon Steele. Michael Sheridan 16. 17th, Adam Buchanan. Aaron Schaefer 18. 19th is Mike Keegan. Tyler Henselman 20th. Jamie Wallace. Brian Fine and Stephen Calavoda, our 23 starters. Bluesphere Corporation 360 Wings Sprint Car Series presented by Dirty Old Bastards. Round number 5, race number 2. Let's get dirty for 30! Will everyone make it safely through turns 1 and 2? The answer is yes. Will they do it at the other end of the racetrack, the track that is trickier? And 1 lap complete. There's a lot of action going on all over the racetrack. It's hard to keep up with it. David Heilemann now looking to the inside of Ryan Pace. Kirsten are trying on the outside of Jason Nygaard. Western Newell on the outside of Chris Brenner. There is a lot going on. This racetrack is busy right now. Western Newell carrying some speed on the top side of the racetrack. Oh, Brenner and Heilemann almost together in turns 3 and 4. You're watching on screen at the moment the 44 of Ryan Pace in 2nd spot. 3rd is David Heilemann. Western Newell in 4th. Chris Brenner in 5th. 6th is now Robert Kirstetter. He got by Jason Nygaard. Heilemann, different lines to what he ran in the heat race. He ran the top, now he's running the bottom in the feature event. Back to the top in 1 and 2 we go. He'll probably go to the bottom in 3 and 4 maybe. No, makes a liar out of me. John Lepresto around in the 26. Bringing on the first caution of the evening. Just got a little out of shape and then Caught the inside wall all by himself. McLaughlin had nowhere to go. Unfortunately for John LaPresto, he got tagged quite heavily. So it's taken 6 or 7 laps, or 7 laps for our first caution. That's not a bad run, considering from what we've seen previously here at Williams Grove. So big hats off to these drivers at the moment. Just a reminder, we are streaming to Facebook and YouTube. Facebook, we're in 720p. And YouTube, we're in 1080p, so if you want to watch it in HD, head over to youtube.com/UltimateDirtTV. Hit the subscribe button while you're there, it doesn't cost anything. I have plenty of racing to come on Ultimate Dirt TV, especially later on tonight in about 6-7 hours from now, actually. We'll be live for the Australian Speedway League 1RC Midgets and WP Concrete 360 Sprint Cars.
White flag lap 33.
So it's official, 7 down, 23 to go. Newhoffen pace Heilemann.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is back out. We into 1 and 2 we go. Once again, we'll see if everyone can make it through 1 and 2 as we did on the first start. The 4 of Adam Buchanan. There might have been a little contact with Henselman coming through. There's definitely contact there with Schaefer and old Jamie Wallace and Adam Buchanan around. Stay green. This is what I want to see. That's good. Once again, a bit of luck is on our side here at the Grove. Coming to 10 to go. Sorry, 10 to complete.
Yellow, yellow.
Brian Fine hard into the wall. Let's take a look at our Colby's eye paint. Colby's eye paint's instant replay. In fact, it was Schaefer who initially started it, and then Fine coming through caught the front end of Keegan. Brian Fine back to pit road, and it'll put us at about 1/3 of the race distance complete. We'll have 10 down and 20 to go.
One to green, guys. Tighten up. Single file. White flag lap 36. So 20 to go.
Green, green, green.
So Newhaven continues to lead this main event in race number 2. As he looks to be run down by the rest of the drivers in this field. Ryan Pace, David Harleman, Weston York, Chris Brenner and Robert Kerstetter, Jason Nygaard. Your top 7, Chris Roberts, Brandon Steele. So we start the second third of the race. And once again, a lot of these drivers up on the top of the racetrack, being very patient with each other, waiting for these drivers to make a mistake. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Chris Brenner, the first car to go downstairs and try to make something happen. Weston Newell, he almost got to the back of David Harleman there. As Chris Brenner gets on by Weston Newell, and while David Harleman goes down low, Brenner went back up top, and caution flag flies yet again. The 151 of Tyler Henselman. Take a look at our Colby's iPaint's instant replay here. And what did happen to the 21? Oh, just, I believe, cut off the cushion there. Came down the racetrack, thankfully missed everybody and caught the inside wall. And unfortunately for Tyler, goes around, although he's nice, not over, as he's still able to circulate on this racetrack right now.
Green guys, tighten up, single file, or white flag lap 39.
$16 still remain in race number 2 of the Blue Sphere Corporation Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Car Series. Round number 5, race number 2 here in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Well, let's just say the posse, well, they're just like everyone else. One track wonders. They got nothing.
Green, green, green.
Do we have another posse? No one. Brenner picking up third momentarily down the back straight away over David Harleman, but Harleman, well, he goes back to the outside and continuing to race side by side. A very close moment for the 70 and the 17 of Harleman and Brenner. Under the bridge here at the Grove. And now Brenner will set his sights on the 44 of Ryan Pace. We are past the halfway stage, 16 complete with about 14 to go. And Cole Newhaven in the race lead. He's done a fantastic job so far to lead since the drop of the green flag. And the caution flag flies, and well, I have a feeling that it might be the 22 of Jason Nygaard. Let's take a look at a Colby's iPaint's instant replay on this one. Watching from turn 3, just above the Beer Hill gang. Oh yeah, just caught the inside wall there. And I got a bit of help. Well, it was all on his own. He was half spinning the car. Anyway, so the 93 behind him with no place to go, tried to check up. But the left front caught the rear nerf bar. So I don't think time will be an issue unless we see multiple back-to-back cautions. I don't think time will play a factor in tonight's 30-lap main event. Coming on to 1 to green this time by, past the flag stand, Cole Newhoff and Ryan Pace. Chris Brenner, your top 3. Chris Brenner, the first drive into the 19-0s.
I'm glad you're enjoying. 1 to green, guys. Tighten up. Single foul. White flag, lap 42.
$13 to go. Oh, hello from Australia. Hello, Tad. Welcome into the stream. Hope you enjoy the coverage. You're watching the final 13 laps of the Blue Spear Corporation and Dirty Old Bastards 360 Winged Sprint Car Series from the Williams Grove Speedway, the virtual Williams Grove, that is. Any time from now, he may fire. And backs up a little bit. Done nothing wrong, and let's go back to green flag racing. Harleman and Brenner straight to the low side into turns 1 and 2. They both look to pick up second and third from Ryan Pace. And well, he's trying to hang on right now. Harleman goes through the middle on a slide job, and nope, there you go. And Pace gone from second to almost upside down, and here he goes upside down.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
A wild ride for the 44, and it all come unstuck for him. Let's take a look at our Colby's iPates instant replay. It was just a little bit of a rub there from Kerstetter and Pace. Kerstetter, well, he was coming off the corner. Pace was just a little bit slower, but that's just racing. Alright, pace truck in next time by Cole Newhoff. We should be, I think, on 10 or 11 to go.
Well, you should have joined us with the first one. One to green, guys. Tighten up. Single file. White flag, lap 45. Looks like about 11 to go.
There you go, 11 to go from race control. Can Cole Newhoff, and can he park it on the front straight away? Time will tell, 11 short laps, but I'm sure they're going to be long ones.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag, hopefully for the last time. We'll see if we can get these final 11 laps in. And there's your top four on screen. Newhoffen, Brenner, Heilemann, and Robert Kerstetter. 10 laps to go. Your top 5 car. Your 5th car on the racetrack is a 93 of Chris Roberts. And well, let's just say he's on the top of the racetrack at the moment. He's got pressure from Brandon Steele behind him. Now Roberts down low. You're watching Heilemann on screen working to the low side. Kerstetter got it back around the outside of the 17 into turns 1 and 2. We run. And I get the feeling that a slide job is incoming very shortly. And as I say that, there it is from Brenner. He got to the cushion. He got the run off of turn number 4. And boy, oh boy, was that clean. And how about the pinpoint slider from Cole Newhoff? He returned favour. And there goes Brenner. Oh, with a slide job and into the wall. The cushion caught the rear end of that race car and lifted it up. And now he goes to the bottom in 1 and 2. Brenner and Kerstetter race side by side. Kerstetter has position number 2 now. Here comes Heilemann on the low side again. I think the cushion on the top is too fast at the moment. And we... Oh, look at Brenner throwing it in hard into 1 and 2. Man, that was some ballsy stuff. He's not going to die wondering, that's for sure. 5 to go. This time bypass the flag stand. Oh, Kerstetter into the wall. Oh, the yellow is out. Does everybody miss him? We all slow up. We all slow up. We all make it by. Let's take a look at our Colby's iPace instant replay. That was some wild stuff. So watch the right rear of Chris Brenner. This is Chris Brenner's car. How he missed that, man, that was a lot closer than expected. Whew, 5 to go. Might even be 4 to go, in fact.
The green guys, tighten up, single file, white flag, lap 48. So it looks like a 4-lap shootout.
There you go, you heard it from race control. 4 laps remain here in the main event of this race. For the final round, the final race of the 5th round of the Blue Sphere Corporation Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Car Series. Seen what Brenner did about 5 laps ago with a slider on Newhoffen. When does he pull the trigger?
Green flag, green flag.
Newhoffen went a little earlier than what Brenner anticipated. Oh, Brenner caught the cushion in 1 and 2 there. As he tries to reel in your race leader. Top 3, all on the top side. Well, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, 8th, all on the bottom side of the racetrack. Oh, Craig Dunn, keep it together, he does. How about Zarfos and Sheridan? They're making their way through the field at the moment. Battle for the race lead. Here we go, 2 laps to go. Brenner has licked the stamp and he has just sent it on Cole Newhoffen. But Newhoffen, well, he just put a big stamp on Hart's yes. He's gone return to sender. The white flag is out this time by, here we go, Brenner's got the race lead in the turn 1 and 2. It's now Cole's turn to send it on Brenner. Oh, perfectly placed slider. He scrubbed off all of his speed. Newhoffen going to go to the bottom side into 3 and 4, as does Brenner. Newhoffen slides up. Brenner, it's a drag race off the line. Oh, Newhoffen gets it. Second is going to go to Brenner. Third, David Heilemann. Oh, excuse me. Wow, oh wow. The 8 machine this time will find victory lane. Let's take a look at our City Group Holdings finishing results. Newhoffen, Brenner, Heilemann, Roberts, Hill, Zarfos, Sheridan, Schaefer, Newell, Keegan, Kerstetter, Lepresto, Dunn, Riley, Nygaard, Steele, Buchanan, Pace, Wallace, Henselman, Fine, and McLaughlin. Calavera obviously got scared, didn't want to run. And well done to our top 3. We're going to chat with those guys here in just a moment. In fact, we'll bring up our race winner. We'll go straight down to victory lane in Calibrate. It's Cole Newhoffen. Cole, congratulations on the win, man. What a race. What an exciting finish you had. And what a race between yourself and Chris Brenner.
Oh, that was an awesome race. I miss iRacing like that. That was a really fun race. Multi-groove. It was really fun.
This racetrack, what did you make of it compared to race number 1? I mean, were they very similar, or, I mean, what did you make of the tracks?
It was way less slick in race 2. It was a lot better racing, in my opinion, in race 2, because it wasn't as slick to the wall, but it was a lot of fun.
What do you think the key was to finding victory lane here this evening?
Keep Chris Brenner behind me, because I knew he was coming for me.
All right, well, look, well done on the win, and got any sponsors, shout-out you want to give again?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Sim Speed Shop, Team Friday, Dirt Division, and teammates at Team VLR.
All right, there we go. Cole Newhoffen home in first place. Home in second place tonight. Well, he left it all on the racetrack. Chris Brenner, Chris, congratulations on second. It was quite an extraordinary race towards those last 10 laps.
Oh yeah, that was a blast. That's the best Williams Grove race I've seen in quite a while. That was a lot of fun.
Pretty much all night, you and Heilemann were pretty much side by side or battling with one another. I mean, you had to do it in the feature race for near 30 laps again, and then throw those big sliders on Cole towards the end. I mean, you can't be disappointed with that kind of racing.
No, I'm not disappointed at all. Even with second place there, I think I definitely had the fastest car out there, and I was able to go where I wanted to a little bit easier than other people, I think. But Cole did exactly what he needed to do to hold on to that win. That last slider he threw back on me in 1 and 2. He let it drift up and kind of kept it in the middle where I was going to cross him over, and I had no choice. I had to get on the brakes, so he did that perfectly. It was a excellent race. That was a lot of fun. Congrats to Cole and David on I think David got third. That was a great race between all 3 of us.
It certainly was. Well, look, well done on a second place here. But before we let you get out of here, I'm sure you got some people you want to thank.
Yeah, thanks to everybody at DOB. Chris, thanks for putting on this league. It's always fun. Brett up in the booth at Ultimate Dirt TV. Thanks for doing the broadcast. Sponsors, Ultimate Dirt TV, Wicked Cushion, Next Gen Fab, Colby's Eye Paints, and teammates at UW Motorsports. Thanks for all support.
All right, there we have it. Chris Brenner home in third place. I don't think we're going to get a chat with David Heilemann. Yeah, doesn't look like he's going to join us here. So well done to Cole Newhoffen home with the win. He bagged a couple of podiums. He gets second in race 1. He gets first in race 2. Robert Kerstetter with the win in race number 1. So well done to Kerstetter and Newhoffen on their wins here this evening. That'll do it for us here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Once again, a reminder, If you haven't done so already, hit the like and follow button on our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/ultimatedirttv. Or you can go to our YouTube channel and go to youtube.com/ultimatedirttv. Hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost a cent. We're live. We're going to be live again in about 6.5 hours time for some Australian Speedway League action. Australian Speedway League action. We'll have the 1RC midgets up along with the WP Concreting 360 Sprint Car Series as well. But before we let you get out of here, we want to thank Blue Sphere Corporation, Dirty Old Bastards, for allowing Ultimate Dirt TV to cover the action all season long. Thursday night, we turn our attention to the Wicked Cushion World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series. As I'm not too sure where they are, but car on screen right now, calling off, and the winner of race number 2. I want to thank Colby's Eye Paints for being the sponsor for the instant replays. And of course, Citigroup Holdings for bringing you the starting grid and finishing results for the rest of the season as well. You can check them out on the web at www.cedi.com. That's CEDI.com. You can also check out Colby's Eye Paints on Facebook as well. That'll do it for us here from the Williams Grove Speedway. And on behalf of everyone here at Ultimate Dirt TV, it's Brett Wheeler signing off, saying good night. We'll see you next time.